News story was produced by Cogeco North Bay News. To watch the full newscast, tune into channels 12 or 700 live at 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Cogeco North Bay News, truly local television. I'm Greg Estabrooks. Indeed, some high drama at the intersection of Wyld and Third Avenue on Monday night for almost 4 hours. A standoff between police and a barricaded man ended after, again, over 3 hours of sometimes heated chatter and ended with a fire. We start our coverage with a look back to Monday night. On Monday afternoon, City Police received a weapons call to an apartment at the intersection of Wyld and Third. Inside the apartment, a man believed to be in his 30s and known to police was unresponsive to negotiations and was not leaving his apartment. The man barricaded himself in the apartment. Police called more staff to the scene, including the emergency response team. The area was cordoned off by police, all the while trying to make communication with the man. Police say the situation turned even more dire, potentially catastrophic, as the man set a fire in his apartment. With police outside his door and at the ready, the man left his apartment with the fire still burning. He was apprehended by police and in possession, say police, of a sword and a knife. Other residents in the apartment building were evacuated by police for safety purposes, and that was before the fire took place. One just moved in there and now has lost virtually everything. We spoke to one of his friends on the scene.
My friend just moved in here 2 days ago and he just lost everything. Like, he had nothing in that day and he just lost everything.
So he got word from police to evacuate, or was he out of his apartment at the time of the fire?
He was actually out of his apartment. He was downtown getting something to eat. There was a situation that was happening that he didn't want to be around. The guy was kind of upset. So Marcel left and he came back to this.
And now he's kind of out in the cold, literally.
Literally, he's out in the cold, but he is going to stay with us in that day. He's a good part of our family. We care about him a lot, and unfortunately this has happened, but everything that he had was already donated to him. Now he's lost everything.
It's a safe apprehension of the subject involved, as well as making sure that everyone else around the area is evacuated and safe as well.
Now, when do you decide to quote-unquote go in? Do you make that decision, or was that made for you because he set fire to his apartment apparently and vacated himself? Is that the scenario that happened tonight?
Not exactly. It's a three-pronged system in relation to having an incident command plus the emergency response and the negotiators as well. So it's a decision that's made by the incident commander if there's supposed to be entry into the apartment. In this particular case, the subject came out of his apartment, was apprehended outside.
We continue our coverage of this incident with Clarke Heipel at North Bay City Police Headquarters.
It occurred about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We received a 911 call from a resident of a multi-unit building on Wyld Street who was concerned because his roommate was in a quite agitated state. He was swinging a sword, and he had a roll of paper, toilet paper or some kind of paper that he had on fire. He was quite concerned for his own safety and the safety of his roommates, so he called 911. Police were immediately dispatched and couldn't get him out of the situation logically. He was in a quite agitated state. He wasn't logical. And so we dispatched our emergency response team. We immediately evacuated the building to make sure that none of the residents inside the building were in any danger, and we also cut off the natural gas supply. So it took a while. It wasn't, and we also dispatched fire and paramedics to be on standby. It took about 3 hours, and he was throwing objects outside the window. He was uttering death threats to police officers. officers. Police did have to use a taser to gain control of him when he did leave the building. The situation escalated at that time because he did set his apartment unit on fire, causing extensive damage to the building. Luckily, nobody was injured. He wasn't injured either. And there are a number of residents today who are without a place to live, so we did offer victim services to help them.
Luli goes through the many charges the 33-year-old unnamed North Bay man faces.
He faces 1 count of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, 1 count of mischief under $5,000, 1 count of uttering death threats, 1 count of assault with a weapon, 1 count of arson with disregard for human life, 4 counts of assault with a weapon, 1 count of carry concealed weapon, and 1 count of breach of probation.
If you are interested in watching Cogeco North Bay News, you can become a subscriber by calling 1-800-267-9000.